All members are in attendance. Today's March 24th. This is the PBC meeting. Just go through a couple items. I checked the correspondence. There was the pay rec. I forgot which number it was. Steve can refresh my memory.
21.
21. That was signed in to return to the select board. And then there was a notice that I don't have on me, but it was about, I believe it was from the select board about the upcoming election, if we had to put in any warrants. I think we had to the 27th.
Upcoming town meeting, yeah.
Yeah, but we don't have any warrants, so,
Not yet.
not that I'm aware of. Other than that, that was it for correspondence. So if you want to head over to Steve to give an update? What?
You want to approve this?
Oh, you want to approve the minutes first? Okay, we can do that. I was going to do it. So we have the minutes from last meeting, February 26th. Anybody want to make a motion to approve?
Second.
Everybody raise your hand if you.
Aye.
Minutes? Okay. So they're approved.
Okay.
All right, now we can go on to Steve.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
So I'll start off with the senior center update. We have the ongoing warranty list that we received from the COA. So just going over a couple of these items, the issue with the fireplace being hot, that is part of the function of the metal fireplace. I did reach out to Advantage, who was the supplier of the fireplace, to see if they had a switch that would, basically a timer switch to shut the gas off within a certain set time. I haven't heard back from them, but previously they had suggested that a sign be put up, and I think I also asked them if they had one in their shop, just to say, do not touch when the fireplace is operational.
Or caution hot or something like that?
Because of the metal. So I think that's, if I can get something, or we can get something from them that's most likely pretty inexpensive, I think it'd be a good idea to mount that in the senior center, just liability reasons. So looking at that, finally we got a date on the lever replacements. It's going to be Wednesday of this week. The electronic latch was already replaced last week by the manufacturer. That was the two door lock items. The touch-up kit for the kitchen casework, Chris found where that was and has told us its location over at the senior center. The wall hydrants outside, the plumber has not addressed those yet, but it was going to be spring work regardless. The buckling of the shingles, we did get a correspondence back from Greenwood, who was the roofer, saying that it was normal and that the 25-year warranty was still in effect. We've asked for confirmation from the manufacturer, which they said that they would get that from the manufacturer.
And by the way, I didn't want to say anything, but when I had my house roof replaced, I had the same buckling. Contractor came out and said it was normal a year later when it's been gone for 9 years. So
Okay.
it's good to hear.
Well, we still want to get something from
After it went
the
through
manufacturer.
every season, they kind of settled in, and it hasn't happened
Good.
after the first year.
Okay. And then we did go over today to check the asphalt to see if that laid back down after the heave. It's not up as much as it was, but it's still up a little bit. So we're going to probably have to Seaver do something with that. We did have heaving in a lot of different areas here and some of my other jobs. The sidewalks out here all settled back down to where they should be, but the asphalt is still, again, not as much, but it's not flush. So we've got to still deal with that.
Did they recommend a remedy?
Well, we just looked at it today.
Okay.
So
It just seems so small to asphalt patch it, and it would make more sense to pour concrete, but I didn't know what.
well, I mean, thinking about the solution to the problem, if you come in and try and use a roller to force it down, I don't know if that's going to work.
I don't think
So that means cutting back and doing a patch, but it has to be done carefully because it's butting right up against curb and or concrete sidewalk. So whoever does it, it's not just
It's all handwork.
cutting a hole in the middle of the parking lot. It's gonna be done carefully on both areas, or they're just gonna make themselves more work.
Can you put concrete there? Or is it in the middle of
I
asphalt?
think it'd be problematic.
Yeah, yeah, you
I don't know if
want
it was
to,
extending the platform.
No.
no, it's
It would
out
look-
into the
it-
drive
It would
area.
look weird, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a new store, I put on a receiving dock, and concrete came up against it, that was new too. Did the same thing, it buckled up. They fixed it, and we put in an asphalt sealer between the concrete and the asphalt. And that didn't allow the water to get underneath.
To slip in,
lift it.
yeah,
And they never had any trouble after that.
yeah.
Could be a
Yeah, I think we talked about that
Yeah.
at the last meeting, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the update on the warranty list. The punch list that is actually part of the contract, we've got the seating for the retention basins and the lawn areas. That, they really, per the specification, they really can't start that until April 1st. They have it from April 1st to June 1st for the spring season to do that work. I've asked them, what's your schedule? And haven't got an answer back yet. Also asked about what the status was on the screens, because now we're getting to the point where someone may want the screens in, because if they open the windows. And then there's a little bit of sealant at the sidewalks that needs to be touched up, but that was also a temperature issue, so. Those are really the actual punch list items that are left at the senior center. Let's see. So, moving on to audio visual. Pro AV, after the approval process and the change orders, all the equipment is in. They have reached out, we sort of put their project manager together with Beth as far as getting scheduling done. They are right now scheduled to start on April 2nd in the multipurpose room. She gave them 2 dates, they needed 2 days, so April 2nd, April 3rd. Plan is for them to be there. Then they'll figure out the rest of the rooms, because she had a very specific days that they could go into certain rooms because of programming. So right now, hopefully that will all work itself out, and they've got, they probably got 8 days worth of work, something like 8 to 10 work days worth of work. So that's moving on.
Does it make sense them doing it at night? They close at 3 o'clock or something. Would it make it easier?
I mean, they've priced it for days, so.
I know, but it's just giving them, working around everybody versus having the building to yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's, leave me alone, I'll get it done, but you have to keep moving everybody around, just curious.
Yeah, they haven't showed any interest in doing anything at night, and then we would have to have someone there to lock up, and
Yeah.
so. We get them in and out during the day, it'll be fine. We're gonna be meeting with Seaver in the next couple of weeks to continue discussion closeout. And that's pretty much it for the senior center. Any questions? Good.
Oh, apparently no.
Moving on to town hall. The issue that we were talking about just before the meeting with the Plaza Concrete, that is one of the punch list items that has to be dealt with. M. O'Connor is hiring another contractor to do that work, as we highly suggested. But we did say that you can't really do anything or start anything until after April 26th, which is voting. And we're trying to set them up. They did a submittal on the sealer. We've asked them to do the mock-up panel. It's a new subcontractor, so I want to make sure that provides what we need as far as aesthetics go, and that he maintains it once he does the work. It's going to be a little invasive, but it's just going to have to be pretty much coordinated for that main walkway coming in.
Now, we have a second means out, the town meeting room and the back, so we could theoretically close the front entrance down?
Good.
Yeah.
We're not at the point of discussion how we want to approach that,
But it's feasible.
but yeah. Yep.
So alleviate that as a concern.
Right. And then we did, there was a number of public records requests from Capital's attorney, which we've sent all those in. I haven't heard anything since. Really, the issue is between Capital and O'Connor at this point. But they were just looking, basically doing discovery.
Who's Capital? Which vendor?
They're the concrete vendor that installed the plaza. Originally.
What did they ask for? Anything specific?
Anything, any documentations that reference the plaza.
Like
Which
testing
was
reports?
field observation reports, meeting minutes, emails.
Is the town entertaining taking cores of the existing and doing a petrographic analysis to prove was defaulted concrete?
All you have to do is look at it.
Well, maybe. It could be a subgrade issue, but I was just curious if it was
No,
a
it's-
concrete issue?
You look at it, the
Okay.
finish is just, it's not there.
Okay.
And we have the mock-up panel that was done by Capital,
And
approved, and now we have it down at
Okay.
the highway to keep it safe.
Not even close.
And again, M. O'Connor's not arguing with the town.
No, it's just,
Yeah. It's one tier down from the town of Norton. Some of the spring work by Diggett, excuse me, has started around the fire department. In regard to the old town hall, demolition is done now, it's pretty much renovation work. The foundation is complete, waterproofing of the foundation is complete. The steel is nearly complete, except for some of the members. There's some cross members inside the joists that they have to wait to do until, once the temporary wall is taken down. But we did have, the structural engineer came out and reviewed what they've done as far as their channels and their columns to date, issued a field observation report, a couple of things that were missing, and then we're gonna have Yankee come in and do a structural steel inspection and a report. And the light gauge framing has been ongoing, as we can see out the window, so.
that's not called 4 metal frame?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not saying that.
Heavy gauge. As far as the select board meeting room audio-visual, which that portion is under M. O'Connor's contract in their electrical filed subbidder. CCS, which is the audio-visual sub-subcontractor, has come back, it came back on the 7th and installed the change order work in the media room. And then they did the programming on the 12th in conjunction with Norton Cable TV, excuse me, and Ray Cord. We had talked last month that there was a possibility that one of the projectors needed to be relocated. It does not. The manufacturer came back and said it was okay, and there was no warranty issues with that. So that was helpful. And at this point, we're just going to need to schedule the final commissioning with the Centec, which is the audiovisual engineer. The other portion of audiovisual, which is Pro AV, which is the rest of the building, this room, the other meeting rooms. The shop drawings were submitted, returned. Pro AV is working on their bill of materials now, and we've requested a start date from them. They did have a couple of RFIs that came in, but we did respond to all those. So right now, I'm just waiting for him to say when they get the equipment, when they're going to be out. And they'll probably go through this building in, again, 2 to 3 weeks, something like that.
That's all the remaining TVs, all that kind of stuff.
Yep. So, as far as,
Did you get bumped?
Hold on, you got bumped somehow.
Uh-oh.
Watch your, thanks. We got booted out of our own meeting.
you want me to wait?
I didn't say anything.
Maybe that's why.
Well, we know it wasn't Jim.
was facing Ed the whole time, why didn't he say something? Blame Ed.
Okay, nothing yet, hold on.
Are you gonna type all that back in?
Yes, it booted me all the way out to the beginning.
Technology.
You were talking about AV and it got all upset.
One thing you guys gotta do is you gotta get those agendas so that you can just click on the link.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, some of them.
I send it to the town that way,
Yeah.
and they scan it.
I don't, it
Yeah.
doesn't make
Some
any
of the
sense.
PDFs, you can click on it, some
Yeah.
you can't.
Every other
Well,
town does.
It's,
Yeah, I don't know.
if it's scanned, you can.
Yeah,
If
right.
it's PDF created
Right, you can.
through Word or something, yes, you can, because it keeps the link. That's what the problem is. They scan
PDF I
it.
send the towns.
Because they have to, what they should have is an electronic stamp.
Yes, because they have to physically stamp.
They have to
it.
physically stamp it, but you can make stamps.
You good?
No.
I just got a text saying there were 3 meetings on your same link tonight,
So they booted us?
for some reason.
3 meetings.
Are they gonna assign?
Like
us
a
to
7
the
o'clock meeting.
Quick, let's hurry up and
So
finish the
maybe
minute.
somebody signed in and bumped you.
The water
Did
and
they
sewer
bump us
commission
to
is meeting right
the,
now.
Finance committee?
to the other T2 line or anything?
So,
I don't know.
Are there any
I'm
other
sorry,
one?
you say something?
the water and sewer
Finance
commission
committee
meeting.
7.
Yeah, finance.
There's, water commission's right now.
Bless you.
Hold on, we'll try, there's 2 lines, let's, let me get the other one and see if we can do that
We're gonna
one.
be in a water meeting.
Of course I gotta find it. Everyone take a break.
What?
Tap dance.
Yeah, so at the end of this month, or actually this week, the state is gonna decide whether Zoom meetings can continue.
Yeah,
correct?
they still haven't ruled on it yet.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're waiting so long. Usually it was like, they just said, yeah, continue.
I think they'll continue.
Mm.
I don't think they'll stop. It's,
I think the state wants to do it, they're doing it themselves.
yeah,
Right,
exactly.
it's convenient.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
MassDOT can have 14 people on the screen.
Mm.
They spend a lot of time
They should make it,
talking about when's the next meeting.
a hybrid though, so that the board has to be in a room, or some people have to be in a room somewhere.
Yeah.
That we have a meeting in town that's 100% Zoom still, hybrid, you know, so if you wanna go and attend, you gotta dial in and talk through some people don't wanna do that.
Well, they should make sure it's your real name and your real picture. You know, people sit there and walk away. Happens to employees all the time, when they ask a question, no one's saying.
I'm old, I think people should sit in the room and talk.
No, I agree.
You can't read a room
No.
behind the camera. You can't read what people really
It's
think.
body language.
We on?
No, hold on.
Thank you.
We can see everybody. Are we back?
No, so there's, we're on mute. So there's 2 lines, right, 2 Zoom lines? The first one, they booted us off. So I joined the second one, thinking they booted us to the second one. The Water and Sewer Commission.
That's what I was saying.
That's what my
So
text
finance
said.
took the other one.
So
But they're not gonna start until 7.
No, they
They're
were,
talking, so.
what happens when we get booted out of the meeting?
I don't know the answer to that.
Chair?
I don't know. We go home.
You rely on this.
Continue it.
Meeting adjourned.
You have the meeting minutes. I
By the
guess.
way, how many people are on that, I'm curious?
On that, there was like 10.
No, who was on before? Before
Bob,
you got booted?
is finance in the big room?
Yes, yeah.
Can we go ask them to get offline till
I'll
7?
ask. I doubt it,
No, I
it's too
think-
early though.
I thought finance was coming in here.
Oh, they're coming
No.
in.
No, they're in there setting up.
Oh,
The
So
other
someone logged on
cameraman.
early.
Now, they have like
Probably
9
tested.
people
I
who
think
sit
water
in
and sewer
selectmen
was in there.
seats.
But if they logged on
I
early,
talked to
they
Mike
wouldn't
Units,
be
he said
on-
finance committee.
You would have
Then you
thought.
would've, they
When I
would,
came in,
should've
'cause I was-
said.
But I think that's what he thought. Somebody
We have an
else
issue
was
with
in
the
there.
door hardware.
Yeah, goodbye.
Jim, I have to talk to you about the door.
So I'm trying to join the first one again.
Yeah.
Who shows up? Hopefully they let us in.
So the door card let me in the front door, but it wouldn't let me in the inside door. So.
Two different credentials.
I went in the side door, I could get in. So then I went over and I talked to Mike and I showed him, I'm like, I can open the outside door, but I can't open the inside vestibule door. What's the point? I'm like, I don't even know why there's a card reader on the inside door. If you have one on the outside, what do you need on the
Give you
inside?
the option.
It didn't work on the inside one, that's all I'm saying. I had to walk, so Mike walked all here around the side where I went in, I'm like, see, it works over there, but this one don't work.
Programming.
And then he said, you're supposed to do it twice, it's supposed to unlock it, like temporarily,
Keep
and then,
it
and then you do it again and it unlock, it didn't work. So, he's gonna find out.
All right, so it won't let me join.
Oh, we'll just
The original
continue, what
link.
are we gonna do?
You got cable?
Yeah, it's recording anyway.
We'll just make a note that at 6:20, we got booted off Zoom.
Right, yep,
That's all we can do.
make it official.
Anyway,
Control over that?
so let Steve continue.
All right,
I'll let Kevin come back.
Oh, wait for Kevin to come back?
yeah. We can join the Water and Sewer Commission, we can listen to that.
I don't wanna listen to them.
No interest?
People that don't answer the phone, tell you the one's fine. When you get a report that says it's poison.
It's slightly above normal.
Yeah, okay. Just,
All right, I don't know. I guess we're a low-priority committee.
yeah, well,
These jobs are done, aren't they?
yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Well, we left off at what, the AV in the building?
Well, I was rolling into,
AV in the building, right?
audio visual for
No,
the town hall.
I was done with that. I was
Okay,
heading
so
into
that has to be
the
determined. We
Old
don't know
Town
when
Hall
yet.
renovation.
Yeah, then Old Town Hall, again.
Is that it? We're done, waiting for Kevin.
Yeah. I lost.
This never would have happened on Jim's watch.
Yeah, blame me, my fault. Yes. My evil plan's
So
working.
did they keep Kevin hostage?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe if I'm
Oh,
the
wait,
same.
someone's holding them, the other one's hitting them. I don't know.
Oh,
I heard him talking to somebody out there when he first went out.
I don't know. Maybe he bailed.
He's fighting with finance.
No, he's talking to voters.
Probably in violation.
that's why we should have in-person meetings.
Come on, Kevin, let's
I
go.
think this Zoom stuff is... Nobody else can leave, we won't have a quorum.
So, we give Peter a temporary member.
We're in intermission.
Brian, you're doing a great job.
Thanks. This is the easiest meeting ever. Think I was nervous for nothing.
We were actually on our way to probably the shortest meeting that we've
I
had.
know.
Ever.
And then this
Ever.
happened.
Yeah, I'm sure, I'm to the point. I'm not a big fan of meetings. I worked on a federal project for 3 years at the JFK, and now it's up in the air, they might tear the building down. It's like we just spent $15 million renovating it, and they might sell the building.
And what takes long to handle
And
what?
all they wanted to do is, when's the next meeting?
So
Spend more time planning meetings
he's
than
in,
actually.
he's in there upset because apparently whoever set up the meetings, set all 3 meetings under the same Zoom link.
Wow.
And what happened was the FinCom dialed in early, like whoever coordinates the FinCom, they're not even meeting till 7 o'clock,
Yeah,
so I don't know why
they
they're
took our
dialing so early. Yeah, and they bumped you probably.
They did.
But the water and sewer, they're all 3
So-
links are exactly.
So does that mean the town can't have more than 2 Zoom meetings on any given night at this?
No, they just need to use a
At the same
different
time.
meeting ID.
Yeah.
There's two meeting items.
She's scheduled the
Correct, but if
same.
there's 3 meetings and 2 IDs,
Let's go.
I'm sure they got more than that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
anyway.
So, the next topic I just wanted to touch on briefly is the Old Town Hall demolition renovation. We have had some change orders for some additional steel, shoring and so forth, but we're, budget-wise, we're in great shape. I had a steel allowance in the budget, and there's also a construction contingency. So, we're not having any problems with the budget on that, and there was a couple things that we didn't use. So I'm tracking that, but I mean, at this point, I can't see where they're gonna come up into any more latent conditions, because everything's wide open now. They're putting things back together again.
That's
How
great.
how are we with procurement of all materials, like the masonry, the windows, everything's, no delays, are they gonna cause this to drag out?
They have not said anything about delays. As a matter of fact, your question about,
They had a masonry delivery date, I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
What about, I'd be curious about the windows, because those are.
the windows, they're planning on installing the windows the last week of April. They've got interior doors coming in around the same time. The aluminum frames are mid-April. They're planning on removing the temp wall. covering the window openings the first week in April. And starting, basically the week of April is masonry.
Makes sense.
So,
Did they have to do a mock-up for the window?
Just a flashing.
Just the flashing?
Yep. So April's you're gonna see a lot of work going on in April.
Are they storefront windows, or are they like metal punch-out windows?
They're like these, fixed.
Oh, okay, so they're like,
Yep.
what do you call them? Overhead, double hung windows?
They're clad wood.
I'm just going through a project right now with Con Air, and they've delayed my job 4 times, driving me crazy, and they can never give me an answer other than, it's late again.
And then we have an aluminum frame and door at the
Yeah.
basement stair.
Yeah, oh, okay, good.
Do you know how much of that project has been encumbered or spent? The windows have been purchased apparently, just waiting for delivery.
I mean, with M. O'Connor, we have a lump sum number with them, so they're in control of their own destiny as far as getting things here, but they don't want to be here any longer than they have to.
What's their completion date? Do they have one?
It is
May.
June.
I think it was in May.
I thought it was given about like June 1st.
Substantial
Oh, it
or
could be.
final?
Yeah,
Substantial?
Well, because that also includes the balance of the site work.
yeah, which they've already started.
Yeah.
So,
That's great news.
Yeah.
The budget is in that good a shape. Because we all didn't know, did we, 3 months ago?
I think the utilities and the steel were the questions.
Yeah.
Everything's been going smooth, so it's good.
yeah. Well, it was the funds that had to make up the difference,
Delta.
which I had to reduce a few numbers, but right now, like I said, I'm tracking it, it's still in good shape. Moving on, M. O'Connor has asked for a reduction in retainage on phase 1 to 0%. Ed and I are looking at it, but we're probably leaning more towards reducing them down, but holding on to what's in the monetized punch list.
Makes sense.
Because we have, I mean, with that and phase 2, there's still like 1.75 left in the project, so. And phase 1, I mean, they rolled through the punch list. A lot of those vendors are, subs won't be coming back, so we should pay them their 5%. Or actually, we had reduced it to 2.7, so we can reduce some of them down to 0, so.
Yeah.
As long as you guys are okay with that.
I
we
don't
got
have any issues with it.
we get plenty of money left over, so. That's, balance to complete. The only other thing for Town Hall, there was a request by the occupants at Town Hall. They got a little bit of exhaust fumes from the generator that's located in the back of the building. The generator is beyond the distance from the building that it needs to be by code. But we asked the contractor to provide, to give us a cost for a 10-foot stack with the cap on it, and that was $32.93.
Not bad.
I thought it was a pretty good number.
The real
So,
question is, we don't know if it's necessary.
yeah. So instead of us just going ahead and saying, yeah, let's do it, we want to get a consensus on whether we should give them the okay or not.
Now, how they selling them? When windows are open? Or
We
is
don't
it
know.
coming in through like a louver or
We
something?
also don't know what time it's scheduled to test, which could be the other part of the problem.
We only heard about it once.
Because it makes sense to test it like after everybody goes home.
Yeah, like Friday
5 o'clock at
afternoon,
night.
Friday afternoon at 1
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah, something like that. Then it won't bother anybody. Can you find that out? What it's set for?
You can reset it for whenever.
That's what I would do first, and then,
That's
yeah.
kind of what my first knee-jerk reaction
Yeah.
was to it, but we proceeded to get the price anyway.
Which is fine. I think it's a reasonable price, but I
Yeah.
think before we proceed with it, let's see if we can change the time, and then if nobody smells it, nobody smells it. Say $3,200.
Exactly.
How often is it tested? Once a month?
Once a month usually.
I don't know what schedule it's
I
on,
think
usually
it's
once a week.
Once a week.
Is it once a week?
Yeah.
Once a week.
Yeah.
Just
That's more
exercise
than I
it.
thought.
I think it's 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we can talk to Chris and Mike about the time. I don't know, see, they didn't give us a lot of information. I don't know whether they smelled it on a test day or whether it was actually running for some reason,
Exactly.
which would have been
Well, a power
potentially
outage.
during the day. They had the windows open.
Yeah. That's what I figured, if you made it Friday at 4 o'clock and it runs 20 minutes, no one's here.
Yeah, I think we set it for exercising before the day starts. We didn't wanna do it too early because of the neighbor.
It was like 7 AM or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You can even do it on a weekend, can't you? Or is that an issue?
You do it whenever you want.
whatever you
That's what I
want.
mean, you know.
You just try and figure out how the
What's
least
the
disruptive time.
Exactly. To both operations and the neighbors.
Do you need anything from us? Do you need a recommendation, or you just wanna monitor it?
Why don't we do this? Why don't you let us see if it's a time change that would be necessary? And if that doesn't work, if there's still an issue, given the number, we can
Yeah.
give them, approve the change order. Because
I would think a Friday afternoon would be okay with anybody,
well,
including the neighbors.
I mean, it's shut down at 12, so.
Yeah, do it at 3 o'clock or something,
Yeah.
in case they run late for some reason.
But if the employees are smelling something and they're complaining, wouldn't you wanna do it when they're working
Well,
for a good test?
I guess the question is, we don't know what caused it when it was done, right? But if we could do it on a Friday and they never smell it again, then game, set, match, we're done.
Yeah.
But they're never gonna smell it if they're not working in their office.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. Okay. So are they smelling it when it's operating? Is that what they're saying? When it was on, they could smell it?
Must have been.
Yes,
When it
So
was on, but we
if
don't
they're
know.
not if they're
Under
not
what
working, they're never gonna
conditions.
Yeah,
yeah.
smell the
Right.
tests.
right.
So Kevin brings up a good point. In an emergency, the person who complained, or whatever the problem, could still be here, but nobody's here to smell it if the testing is done Friday afternoon. So the problem may still be here, we're just ignoring the problem rather than fixing the problem.
Well, the other half of that too is if power goes out at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, and everyone's here,
Right.
they're gonna smell it. If that's the case, they're gonna smell it.
Do we know if the 10-foot stack will just fix the issue?
We'll move it to the second floor. How high is?
We think
on the
we
second
think it'll
floor?
improve the situation. I don't know if it'll make it go away.
You start getting higher than that, then you're gonna have
It's from-
outriggers off the building.
It also could have been, we've had a lot of windy days lately, could have just been the wind hit it the right way. You know, we've had a lot of crosswind lately, so who knows? I don't know, what do you guys think?
Actually,
I think you guys are-
Take some time.
Actually, I believe the
Yeah, I
complaint
think-
I mean,
was
we
made
don't have
about
to make a
6 months
decision, I
ago.
mean, we can.
Well, we need to make a decision
Was it-
before O'Connor leaves, but
I
we got
wish I
till,
knew.
you know,
Yeah,
May.
we can talk about it again next meeting.
I think find out what it's programmed for,
Yeah.
and then see if we just adjust it, if that helps. And then if
Doesn't fix the program.
it doesn't fix the problem, then.
Jim, you said the complaint was made 6 months ago?
I believe,
No, it was
If it was,
2
that's
months
what
ago,
windows
maybe.
open.
Month
No,
and a
it's
half.
more than that.
You think?
Yeah. Like late fall, early winter.
It was definitely when it was cold, because I thought it was like, well, why'd they get the windows open in the wintertime?
Well, that's why I was asking, is there an intake louver over there or something for the HVAC?
It's up in the gable.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring.
But it's an exhaust,
Oh,
because I checked that.
okay.
Yeah, on that side, it's an exhaust.
Yeah.
On this side is the intake.
Right, but the gable right above it is an exhaust.
Yeah, but isn't the generator over there?
Yeah.
It's in the back.
It's in the back,
Ah.
like half a flight of stairs
It's
down.
probably just a unique freak thing, but whatever.
Yep.
Monitor it, I think, now the windows start opening in the next month, we'll have a better idea by, next meeting, if it's worth
Okay.
extending,
Hmm.
adjusting the time.
Seriously.
It's not a lot of money, and
It's
actually,
cheap, it's cheap, right?
yeah.
The stack might just move the issue from the first floor window to the second.
But again, we gave them the authority to spend on small things like this.
Right.
They have delegation of authority, so
Yeah.
we don't really have to vote on it, we're just being advised.
Maybe just talk to the person again and see if they've had any, if they smelled anything
We
since.
get the
We're-
price in January. I think we found out about it in December.
Okay. That's the thing, is we sort of want to talk about, because we're not thoroughly convinced. that it's
Exactly.
necessary.
But, I mean, I think it's a small thing, if you guys think it's the right thing to do it.
Okay.
Anybody object, I think it's the right thing to do.
Again, what's the stack gonna do, is just gonna move it outside the window on the
It
second
moves it up
floor?
higher,
How high?
10 feet.
Another 10 feet.
Yeah.
10
which is
feet up
like the
versus
level-
4
Which
feet
is the
or
second
whatever.
floor.
It's already, you know, I wanna say like 3 or 4 feet above
Yeah,
the,
to bring it closer to the second floor windows, which theoretically it would dissipate.
A little more.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. The only other thing that I have is the update on the digital signs, and I know that's in a different court, but I did get pricing for 2x8, 4x4, 6x4, and 8x4
Oh, good.
signs, and labor and material. The range is roughly 22.5 for the 2x8, up to 37.2 for an 8x4. So I forwarded that to Mike and to, mainly Mike, and I copied a few other people on it, just say, you know, what do you guys want to do?
I think we need to have Mike decide what he wants to do, because we discussed last time, the first two met the signage ordinance, the other ones don't. So if the town hall wants a
Right.
bigger sign, they need to go through the process, and that's up to Mike.
Yep. Well, the discussion
Cost-wise, it's not a huge amount.
at the OAC meeting was they thought a 6x4 would be better. Visually for people driving by.
And I think that helps with the, getting a variance. It's a town building, it's important to everybody. I know everybody in the town would want a bigger sign, but it's a town building,
And
I think it's
that's what we
more
have today, 4x6?
roughly, isn't it? 3
No,
by-
you
No,
have
it's an
a
oddball size.
4x7, I believe, so
Okay.
what's out there is
Even
not in
bigger.
Yeah,
compliance.
so it's just.
But it's old.
Real grandfathered in, right?
Well, no, because if it was replacing kind, yes, because we have a new foundation, it's not a 1-for-1 anymore.
Yeah, we're, 25 feet,
There's only bylaws were already in place when that sign was put up.
yeah.
Yeah,
No.
or after.
And that's all I have.
Yeah, so I mean, I have no problem with the 4x6x4 if
No, I
that's what he
don't
wants, but
Yeah.
it's Mike's call.
Yeah.
The foundation is large enough to accommodate all those sizes, so we don't have an issue there.
It's just a matter of what size he wants to buy. If it's a little bit more, it's $5,000 more or something like that, 6,000.
It's more of the timing in between the change in messaging on the screen, that's the issue, because you don't want it to happen too quickly and be distracting for people. You don't want it to happen too slow so that people are trying to read and they're not paying attention to driving.
Yeah, they
And it's
stop in the
more of
middle of the road.
It's more of an advertising thing for retail that the bylaws were put in the way they are.
Correct.
Not necessarily a municipal building with information on it, so.
And Ray Cord, two things, Ray Cord brought up the fact that emergency messages are put on it. So it's used for emergencies. And number two, the old sign has been out for 4 weeks and I haven't heard a complaint from anybody.
There is one other thing. Originally, when Ray, this is going back a year plus, Ray Cord had gotten the first quotes from the sign companies. It included a surround at the sign that said Norton Town Hall or Norton something like that. I did not, since we have a monument sign out there that says Norton Town Hall, Norton, Massachusetts, whatever it says out there, I only asked for a pricing for the sign itself. So you wouldn't have, we'd have to try and match fonts and all that. So I got rid of that, which is a savings. That one out there did have something on the top of it, but I don't think we need it. You just want the digital sign.
There's no ADA requirement for minimum letter heights on an electronic sign or anything, is there?
no.
Not that, I don't know of any, I was
There's
just curious.
guidance in terms of the minimum size based on the speed
Yeah,
of the
that's what I mean.
road, but that's not a code requirement, it's a recommendation.
Correct. So does this, I guess my question, does that help the 4x6 if, based on the speed of 30 miles an hour? They need to be 6-inch
I've never
letters from
seen
50
anybody do
feet.
the speed limit out on the road. Just
What's
for
the
what
police
it's worth.
station's right there, come on.
Well, the member of the safety committee will tell you the town passed a bylaw of, I believe, 25?
So not the traffic safety committee, they agreed that the town should lower the speed limits in certain areas to 25 miles per hour on town-owned property, town streets.
Yeah, but that's a state highway.
This section of highway is under the control of the town,
Okay.
down to the common and down to 495. So the committee is recommending, we're doing Serpad is doing a study the end of this month. It's gonna check all the average speeds, volumes, even down to, they have some new machinery, they're even gonna check on how many pedestrians walk and use the sidewalks. So they're gonna do a complete study, and then we're gonna make a recommendation on reducing the speed from what we call the community centers here, from the police station all the way down to Common, reduce the whole area down to 25 miles per
I
hour.
mean, it probably makes sense now with the increased traffic with these new building here, it probably makes sense. Did we ever do a traffic study before?
We did a long time ago.
Just curious what the volume was then versus now.
I'll share that with you, I've got, I'll go and comment.
Okay. Just curious. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's a few signs. But that's important to get this sign up to date because we gotta let the townspeople know the change. Everybody's getting
20 miles
tickets.
per hour here, 35 miles per hour up there, if you're coming back to the common, in front of Wheaton, it's 40 miles per hour.
Yeah,
So
changes.
they're all over the place, and we're trying to get it cleaned.
Yeah, it makes sense almost from.
Well, guys, I gotta get to the FinCom, so I'll be on the good evening.
Hey, see.
All right, Mayor. See you
You're
later.
Everyone, here we go.
I mean, it makes sense.
Tell them they can have the Zoom call back.
It makes sense from the schools all the way to, like, past the police station. being
Well, that's a different story, because from the lights on West Main Street, that's state highway. We can't get them to do anything.
I know, but that's what.
And irregardless of the signs you got up, people getting off 495, other than between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock, they're gonna be doing 45 to 50. It can be a speed trap for the town to make money.
They can hide behind the signs.
There you go.
Dukes of Hazzard?
We could pay for everything.
All right, so we're gonna leave this with, we're gonna wait to hear back from Mike on this. So,
Well, I don't think
I sent it to him today.
we'll hear back from Mike. It's up, we turfed it to Mike to make the decision and do it. So it's Mike's decision, so that when somebody comes back at, I don't know, 6 years from now and says
Call you
the
back, I'm on fire.
signs aren't in compliance, we can blame it on the town manager that isn't here, not a vote by this committee.
approved by the building inspector is on here? I guess my question is there a cost implication that we have to vote on? Or is this within our budget? Or your authority?
I'm carrying it at both buildings in the budget. So the number is accounted for, it's actually a little bit.
So we wouldn't have to vote on the change order, so I guess my point. I think we're good. Okay,
Yeah, we're fine.
because other than that, it's really Mike's decision.
Well, it wouldn't be a change order. It
purchase
would
order
go,
for that
it'd go
vendor.
direct to the vendor.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we did allocate 10,000 and now it's 40, you have to vote for 30 because it's above your delegation of authority. If it's in your budget, then you just move forward. That's all I'm saying.
I'm carrying 50,
We're good.
so I saved you some money.
There you go.
Okay, pick a date, Mr. Chairman,
All right, when do you want to have the next meeting?
preferably not on a date that everybody else is meeting.
Well, I can't control that, we can only control this one meeting. The next, I think the 21st or the 28th?
Is that a Monday?
Yeah.
They're both fine with me.
Either one.
Anybody got a preference?
28th.
21st is school vacation, Brian, you can.
Yeah, I was gonna think about that, it's not on my calendar, but,
Sounds like the 28th.
all right.
Charlene texted me, she told me to try the other link. Still doesn't work.
There you go. Why didn't you think of that?
Whatever. Can't get it.
Anybody have anything else? Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Nobody wants to adjourn.
Everybody say aye.
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 Works for me.